Good afternoon. Paul Crabtree here again to demonstrate the Hollowing King tools and accessories. But before we get going with today's video, I want to go back and pick up a very important part on the first video of this series, the safety. And here's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm referring to today. Right in here, the red zone. From here, this hand to this hand, when a piece comes apart, it can come apart in this zone. Now, if you're standing back away from it, it might fly all around, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna be in the path of it. So, like this piece here, although it's a pretty vase, it has a lot of inclusions on it down here and just all over the place. And so this is one that a person really does need to pay attention to as far as where they're going to be if this thing flies apart. So with the Hollowing King tool, you're standing back over here out of the way. Okay. In this video, I want to show how the calipers get set up and how versatile it is. I'm doing a bowl hollowing in this video, but I also want to show you that the bowl is very easy to set up with this, and sometimes it gets a little confusing in how to set up like a vase with the shoulder on it and the neck here and all that, because you can't just get up there and do it. You gotta kind of figure it out. So here's what I've done. I'm using, for demonstration purposes, this HK75 again. I have the calipers and the blades set up so they are in harmony with hollowing out this part of this little vase. Now, how this is determined and how to set this up, because as you'll see later, it's a very different setup than from the bowl setup, okay? So here we go. First of all, you figure out that you can get the shaft of this through this hole here. This little neck here, you got to get the shaft in there, and then you got to be able to get this part of the tool, the blade, over to where you want to work. So you got to go around corners like this one. Now, so then you set up so it's straight across as you go. It can, you want to go right here, so this is how you want to set it up, a straight line. So after you get that set up and you have the proper distance from the spring tip to the blade, then you can put it in there like this, and there is your spring. Now, on this little piece right here, as tempting as it is, do not go any more than maybe 3/4 of an inch or an inch here. It's just not worth it. Just take your time. You'll get it hollowed quick enough. When I do the shoulder, I'll skip this part and come over here and do this. And I might even go on down and everything. A lot of times on these vases, I will do the whole thing, and I might go over it like 3 times before I'm finished with it. So you never want to get in a hurry. You just want to have a good job done. But this part here, up to here, I do last. I leave a little bit more meat in the neck, so if I forget to shut off the lathe and I bring out the tool and I hit the side, I don't ruin it. I just take off a little bit that I'm going to take off later. But so it's always a good idea to leave this portion to the last. I want to hold it back maybe a 1/4 inch of where I really want to go. I'll make a mark there, and that's the mark I put on there is right there at that face. Okay, for this portion of it, we don't need the spring rod in here, so we can remove that. Whenever you take the spring rod out, make sure you tighten this screw down here, or else it'll vibrate out here. Okay, now I'm getting down to the area of hollowing to where I have to pay attention to the contour of the interior to match the exterior. So this is how I can do it. I have not touched my blade. It's still in the same position that I first put it in. However, my body will shift. So as I go down here, slowly as I go, I'm turning, keep with the contour of the exterior. It's turned up to 1150 RPMs, but I'm barely touching this sidewall. I want to keep away from the vibration, like that. Remember, this is dry wood. Okay, I have my left hand blade on here, have caliper spring rod run, and I'll come down here and as I go down the bowl, I will come around like this. So I want to keep with the contour and have that spring tip right straight across in the shortest line possible through this wood. So I come around, and as I come around, I go down here. Now, I stop right here with the right hand notch blade, and that's about where I like to stop on going down to the bottom. I'll feather this in later. When all of this is done, then I'll feather from here over to here in, but I want to make sure before I make that thin down there, or thinner, I want to get a nice contour here with the same wall thickness all the way down to here. So here we go. Okay, now watch as I go down, or going around, I'll turn this to match the wall contour. There we go. Okay, now all I have left to do is blend this in with this. I put a fresh edge on my left notch blade. And it doesn't go down but to about here. In fact, it doesn't, it's just about an inch, inch and a quarter it looks like. Same thing on this side. So what we're going to do is concentrate on that part there. Now, I'm setting this up so I can do a shear cut. I put this part over my shoulder, over my right shoulder, and bring it down like this. Okay? So now I'm at these shavings are like snowflakes when they're coming off. That takes care of the tear out. Okay. It doesn't do it on all of it. Sometimes you don't, your wood just doesn't allow it and you have to sand it out, but most of the time you can get at least 80-85%. Okay. 40. So my sanding's done. And I want to check the depth again. So I pull out my trusty little antenna there, put that up there, and then I bring it back here. And it looks to me like I have about 3/8 of an inch, which is about the depth of the rest of the bowl. Okay, here's the finished bowl. Probably about a 9-inch. Let's see. Yeah, 9 1/4 inches.